it will feel even better to talk about football once we know that the NFL and the NFL Players Association have an agreement that will allow for the players to feel good about showing up at work and feel good about the financial side of things. But there is one reality. We've seen it play out in other sports where players choose, as a matter of their own personal health, their concern about family members, or just their level of comfort trying to play football or any other sport in a pandemic, they choose to not play. The NFL, Chris, has proposed a procedure for opting out for all of the 2020 season. Now, the league wants a fairly short time frame for players to make their decisions. August 1 is the deadline for the team to receive written notice that a player is going to opt out. And once the player opts out, it is irrevocable for 2020. Wow. You can't change your mind. You can't have an epiphany. You can't make a decision based upon how the pandemic may be turning the right way come Halloween and you'd like to finish the season with your team.
Yeah.
Once you are
team
out,
that's 5-0 and ready. Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
or just the virus.
Yeah.
Hey, the virus. The testing is better.
Yeah.
They've developed a test that turns it around in an hour, and the hot spots that currently are raging are no longer hot spots, and guys feel better about it. And too late. And here's the thing: if you opt out, you can't play for anybody. You can be traded, you can be cut, but you can't play for anyone in 2020. If now this is the NFL's proposal. The
why, Mike?
May ask
why
for different rules.
Let me ask you that.
Because,
why do that? Like, what if a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence, right? He's one of the better players in our sport. We know that he's thinking about this right now. Like, why? Why, if he wanted to come back in the middle of October and things were better, do they just feel like too many guys might do that? Is that what they're doing there? What's the logic there?
I think they're trying to keep as few guys as possible from opting out. You create a short time frame. You make it completely irrevocable where you don't get, 2 strikes or 3 strikes or a chance to, what if a guy's just not comfortable? What if a guy gets to the middle of August and says, I've been here for a few weeks now. We've been doing this, and boy, I really do. I want to see how I feel after I play a game.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe I'm not going to feel all that comfortable about this after playing a game. No. They want guys to have to make an early decision, and the earlier the decision, the less likely guys will opt out, especially if it is irrevocable. Now, there is one interesting twist here, because you've got some guys that would like to get paid, like a Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings, who quit their offseason workout program and indicated maybe a willingness to hold out. You can use the implicit threat, or not even necessarily implicit. You can say to the team, hey, I already don't feel good about what I'm getting paid. You throw this pandemic on top of it. I'm underpaid as it is. I don't want to take on the additional risks. I'm thinking about exercising my option to opt out, and you can change my mind. There's
right.
a way that you can change my mind.
Right.
Now, that's a hell of a gamble.
Yes.
You talk about an all-in move, because if the team says, sorry, we're not doing anything, we're calling your bluff, then to save face, you have to just give up the whole season. That would be problematic for the player who makes that threat and the team doesn't blink. Then the player just sits out the whole year. But from the team's perspective, do you want to play with fire like that? If you're the Vikings, do you want to run the risk of Dalvin Cook opting out? Even if he regrets it, once he's done it, it's done. There isn't a damn thing he or anyone else can do about it.
No, you're right. That's where I would, my advice to a player like that would be, make sure that you're really ready to sit out and not do it. Make sure that, okay, you don't really want to play this year because you don't feel comfortable about your contract situation and COVID-19 and where that's going. Be comfortable with that. And then, okay, if you're comfortable with that decision and now you get a contract offer or something that goes, okay, well, that I can't deny that right there, I'm going for it, then that's one thing. But here's another thing for you, Mike. I guess 2 things that just have kind of popped up to me that I'm curious about. First off, I understand the August 1st, thought process of the deadline. They want to know what the teams are going to look like, right? Teams also want to know, oh, if our second receiver, if you're the Houston Texans and all of a sudden, some player there, let's say Brandon Cooks isn't comfortable, they got to figure out a way to fill that void. So they don't want to be caught, I think, just totally by surprise here, in the middle of August or something like that. But I don't know how the NFL can give a hard deadline of August 1st right now when nothing's agreed on, right? I mean, that can't be real. You can't be.
But that's part of the agreement. That's the proposal.
It will be part of it, right? Okay.
They're proposing an opt-out right up until August 1. So they reached an agreement. One of the facets of the agreement is that players have opt-out rights until August 1. But again, it's not enough time. It's not enough of an opportunity for a player to get to the point where he feels comfortable or not comfortable with what's going on. Because here's the thing.
He doesn't know anything yet. How do you know the procedures that are going to be done to feel comfortable or not comfortable? That's where I would just be like, I don't know how this is going to go. So how do you expect me to know by August 1st if I don't know what the hell you're going to do to keep us safe on a daily basis?
And here's the problem. And let me just give you a basic example as it relates to a signing bonus. You get a $10 million signing bonus on a 5-year contract. So it's $2 million per year that you earn back in signing bonus money. You're in the second year of the contract. You get to the middle of August and you just say, I can't do this. I can't do it. I didn't realize before August 1 that I was going to feel this way, but I just can't do it. I can't play this year. If you quit then, if you opt out then,
right,
you got to pay back $2 million in signing bonus money. If you opt out before August 1, you don't have to pay back the signing bonus money as long as you fully comply with all terms of your contract next year. There's a lot of fine print as to what you have to do next year if you opt out this year. But the bottom line is if you do everything you're supposed to do, you don't have to pay back bonus money if you opt out. But if you get to a point where you just can't do it anymore and you walk off the job, they have every right to come get that $2 million back from you. So that it makes it a very high-stakes decision.
It does.
You're giving up your salary. There's an opportunity to have a stipend, but when you look at the fine print there, like if you've already gotten a signing bonus or if you've already gotten a roster bonus, you've already gotten payments this year, that counts against the stipend. And I think it's $150,000 or $250,000. It's gone quickly. It's $150,000.
Right.
And you get that $150,000 eaten away at very quickly if you've gotten other payments already. So it's not a whole lot of money, and also it counts against your salary next year too. So it's not free money either. It's just a little something to tide you over for the 2020 season until next year when you have to earn that money back. But look, this is not an ideal solution for giving players a meaningful opportunity to opt out, Chris. And I hope they do tweak it a little bit, and I hope they do expand it a little bit, and I hope they give guys a chance to show up and practice and feel safe or not safe. How do you know by August 1?
That's what I mean.
Training camp opens July 28.
Right.
How do you know if you truly feel safe in just a couple of days? They need to delay that, and maybe they need to give a guy one strike, one opportunity. I can leave one time and change my mind and come back.
I
the
think
second
so.
time I go,
I think that's fair.
Then it's irrevocable.
I
don't like
that.
the idea that it's speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, I agreed. That's what I was going to say too. I don't like that. I mean, you're going to tell human beings about their life like maybe 3 weeks into August where they don't feel comfortable, and maybe there's been a few guys on the team that have gotten COVID-19 and they just don't like the outlook of things. I think it is a little too, I don't want to, for lack of a better phrase, inhumane or just not nice or whatever you want to say. These are unforeseen times and circumstances that we're going through right now. So, first off, the August 1st thing needs to be backed up because no player can make a logical decision without knowing logically what the hell the protocols are yet. So that has to be bumped back a little bit. And I'm with you. I think there should be a little leeway maybe into like, hey, you can come to training camp, and within the first 2 weeks, we'll let you make a decision on whether you think you want to ride this out or not. But I don't necessarily like that. Like, oh, now you're going to have to pay back $2 million, let alone you're not going to make the $2 million you're making this year. That's a very hard line stance for a bunch of guys who are sitting pretty with lots of cash in their pockets.
I have a feeling this is an issue that's going to come up again and again until they get it all hammered out. And when they do get it hammered out, we'll probably have some thoughts on what the final opt-out rules are, because I have a feeling that at the end of the day, there will be some issues, there will be some twists, there will be some problems with the final protocols, whatever they may be.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.